Doc Leeson here, the podcasting beast from the East with the Professor John Gotti, the king of RNG, the troll master, the data analyzing nature, the conqueror of his own fate. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Professor Omega, the cleaner. How you doing there, boy?
You know,
Uh-oh.
doing pretty good. I could always be better if I commit the same type of effort as the hardest working man in podcasting today, our tribal beast,
Tom Grassi.
the head of the table, the Sultan of Squad, Los Tranquilo, the Pied Piper of podcasting, the sanitizer, Doc. Least happy Friday, man. How you feeling?
Happy, 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 joy, happy, joy. It is Friday. I'm doing good, man. How you doing there, boy?
I'm out here just ready to deploy some predictions for the upcoming divisional round,
Yeah.
and let's see if I can have a repeat of last week.
Oh, yeah, you're a beast, man. Freaking, just Prophet hopefully that gaudy cloud doesn't rain terror.
I think it might. I might purposely go for Gotti Cloud and pick
Nah,
other
I
things.
understand. I understand. Before we get there, I did just want to make sure we wish a speedy recovery to Lonzo Ball.
Hmm.
The Bulls are playing pretty well outside of the COVID um, outbreak that happened a couple of weeks ago, but he's out 6 to 8 weeks having surgery on that knee with a torn meniscus, which is good. I mean, 6 to 8 weeks for a torn meniscus is a pretty good turnaround.
That's really
Hopefully,
good turnaround.
yeah, hopefully he can recover strong and continue to lead that Bulls team. It was a surprise move for him to go to Chicago with DeMar DeRozan and company, but I know they're really hoping to get him back. His first major injury,
Yep.
um, which sometimes changes the course of a young player's career. So hopefully this is just one injury that he goes through, he recovers from, and he gets back or comes back stronger than ever.
And it's like Doc always keeps talking about. It's never the physical aspect of recovering from an injury that's the biggest hurdle to overcome. It's that mental aspect of it all.
Exactly. Will you ever trust that leg again? You know what I mean? Will you ever trust that leg again? But moving on to the football, the gridiron, before we get into these predictions and possibly spoilers, the Giants have done it first. The first team to hire their next general manager. Um, they are hiring Buffalo Bills executive Joe Schoen.
Hmm.
That's how I'm going to pronounce his name right now. I don't know. Hopefully that is correct. But Joe was the guy. I know my cousin, my brother, they were hoping for, um, I believe, I don't think it was this guy. I think it was another gentleman. I can't think of his name off the top of my head here, but they were hoping for another guy. And I think we talked about it. We were hoping that the Giants weren't trying to create a, a Reese situation, um, but I think hiring somebody from Buffalo. Buffalo's always been a pretty good team over these last couple of years. So I
Yeah, one of
believe
the
that this
biggest
is
thing
a
that they did was, get a cornerstone quarterback. They,
hmm
developed their defense through the draft, which is
hmm
great.
hmm hmm
And their offensive line, when they decide to play well, is pretty solid. I would probably say they're like top 10 in the league.
Right.
Um, and the former and he was able to actually bring in some pretty good key pieces via trade as well too. So to say that he did a decent job would be a drastic understatement.
Right. And I'm sure it wasn't, it wasn't just like him. I mean, but he was a part of that organization and under
Of
that
course.
leadership. So that makes sense. The other gentleman was Ryan Pools from Kansas City,
Yes.
which, I mean, the Kansas City front office has always been good for the last 4 to 5 years. They've been hitting. I mean, you think about the quarterbacks that they've had in that system, both with Alex Smith, obviously, and now Patrick Mahomes, the running backs that have come in, the weapons that have come in and out. They've been able to do a good job. But John Mara, of course, the president of the Giants, said, throughout their search, Joe was the guy that impressed them with his ability to communicate a progressive and comprehensive vision for the team. And before you can start moving things, you have to have that vision. And I think that's something that a lot of GMs lack. They lack vision. They kind of just like crumble under pressure, and they don't stick to their goals. It seems like they kind of just
I would
start
agree
being
with
reactive.
the latter of the two, definitely.
Yeah, they become
If
real
they have an
reactive.
opportunity, I mean, we kind of talked about that with the 76ers. Like they had a
Mm,
plan, but then they
mhm.
just went in a totally different direction and it kind of dogpiled from there, unfortunately.
Right, right. And John Mara continued. He said his philosophy and collaborative approach to building a roster and a coaching staff aligned with what we're looking for in a general manager. Of course, this comes after Dave Gettleman's retirement. Um, but honestly, so far this morning alone, um, I've seen three coaches pegged to be the next head coach of the New York Giants. Surprisingly, all of them were defensive guys. The first one that came through, of course, said Todd Bowles. Then the next one said Brian Flores, and then the last one said Mr. Quinn um, from the Cowboys. Which you know, I think each one of them would be great. Obviously, Flores had the most success out of the coaches that are being listed as a head coach.
Yep,
Um, but I don't know. I think the Giants can't go wrong with either one of these hires. Defense is definitely somebody that they need to bring in. I would be curious to see if Todd Bowles goes back to New York, which is so crazy.
that would be insane.
He just says, "You know what? I did the Jets," which he did a pretty good job with the Jets, but I mean, he lacked a quarterback, and I think once you have that quarterback issue and you don't resolve it, it's just not one of those things that you ever recover from. But if the sources are correct, and if Brian Flores comes in and Deshaun Watson wants to go into the Giants, I have to think that that's a big win for the Giants, as well as the start of Joe Schoen's general manager tenure.
Now I'm gonna start calling him Joe Shooms. Thanks, Doc.
We'll just call him Joe Show, the Joe Show.
Yikes! I feel like
Uh,
we probably shouldn't start that in that market at all. It usually doesn't turn out well.
no, it doesn't. It doesn't. But Johnny, let's go ahead and get ready. Let's jump in. We got 4 games this weekend. We got 4 games.
Well, we're gonna do that next week when we get to our final four.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right.
It's a little
You're right.
too premature to be getting the horsemen out there.
You're right. You're right. But we got Saturday game, Saturday afternoon, tomorrow, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got the Bengals headed to Tennessee. The Bengals are 0-7 all time in road playoff games. That's just a little light bulb there that NFL.com is giving us to
Of
sway our
course they're saying
predictions.
that. Of course they're saying
But the Bengals, Titans, Nissan Stadium, Johnny, on CBS. Who do you got?
that. I mean, I know the Duke always says that his team's always gonna lose in these type of
Right.
situations, but they're getting their main guy back. You're my number one guy. But unfortunately, just like Bob and Batman, I'm going with Kitty Goes Meow. Doc, who you got?
Yikes. It's a tough one. I mean, what the Bengals were able to do to the Raiders' run game was tremendous, and they've been able to neutralize certain weapons over the season, but I believe the Titans are going to win this game. Like I said, I think a lot of the I would say they all need to win this game. The Titans need to win this game. The Titans
Yeah,
want to win this game, and the Titans must win
win this
this
game.
game. I think it's for the whole tenure. Um, so I'm going to go with the Titans.
And
It's not going
that's
to be
fair.
it's going not going to be like you know a lopsided score. It's going to be close. This is going to be a close one.
Ooh, Doc's going with a close scoring game.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, okay. I'll leave my opinions till after the game.
Okay. 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 Saturday night, we got the 49ers headed to Lambeau. First and foremost, just a little light bulb here. Aaron Rodgers is 0-3 versus the 49ers in postseason history.
Yep.
They're in Lambeau Field. It's going to be cold outside. Make sure you wear your booties
It's
'cause it's
gonna
going to
be
be cold.
cold, but it's gonna be rocking. It's gonna be loud.
Johnny, who you got?
You know, I mean, they got a guy named Debo. Who? Debo out there doing it all, honestly.
Yeah.
Um, but their running attack is really solid. Their defense, I mean, we got to see what's going to happen with Fred Warner and Nick, not Joey Bosa. Um, but I kept saying this all season long. I'm not gonna go away from Aaron Rodgers just yet. They're getting pieces coming back, especially on the defense as well, which is surprising because their defense been playing great without Alexander or some of these other pieces, and they're getting Dave Bakhtiari back. I'm going with Green Bay breaking the curse, and that's even if the 49ers go with Trey Lance, because I know a lot of people went with that storyline of Trey Lance coming in, starting the game, and Kaepernicking the Packers.
I'm not buying that.
You like the Kaepernicking part? Okay,
Yeah, that
I
was
figured you
perfect.
would enjoy that.
That was perfect. But I'm actually going to pick the 49ers, not just to go with the 0-3 record, but the last game that they played, the 49ers really had them on the ropes for the last 30 seconds of the game, in which Aaron Rodgers was able to complete two great passes that set them up for a game-winning field goal.
Yeah, but that was
I
also
think
the same game that like both field goal kickers was like abysmal.
I think it's going to be the same. It's going to be cold. That ball's going to be rock solid. It's going to be like kicking a
Yikes!
brick.
Yikes!
Hey, you're gonna have to check the air pressure on these balls this game because those balls are gonna be bricks kicking this weekend. So it's not gonna be any long field goals. It's gonna be a lot of probably 35 tops. I don't think there's gonna be any field goals over 35 yards because that ball is gonna be rock solid. It's gonna be a lot of shorts and a lot of wide left, wide right. But
Yikes! We got
I'm gonna go with the
Sunday.
49ers. Sunday.
Sunday, 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 the afternoon game at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have the LA Rams coming off of a dominant win against the Arizona Cardinals, laying Grandpa Cardinal to rest,
Oh, that was so sad. That was so sad.
facing off against the reigning, defending, undisputed National Football League champions of the world, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Doc, who you got?
Bucks,
Ooh, he doesn't even hesitate this time, folks. He is that
Tom Brady,
confident
14
in
and 2,
his team that
14
I
and 2,
am gonna go with
the Rams.
the Buccaneers as well.
Uh,
This
I
is
feel
going to
like,
be a game where Matthew Stafford absolutely implode
yeah, I could see that happening as well.
and
I think
throws 4 interceptions in the game.
that's so funny because the NFL writers wrote that Tom was going to throw three, but I just don't see that happening. I
Even
think it's going
even
to
if
be
Tom throws 2, it's going to be an interception and the ball changes hands. With Stafford,
right.
it's going to be 4 picks and at least 2 of them are going to the house.
Hey, I appreciate that. But I just feel like it's going to be a situation. I don't think the Rams were challenged
No,
last week. Um,
no.
but I think this is going to be a challenge, watching Gronk, watching Mike Evans, Perriman. I think Johnson came around. You got Gio Bernard. You might get Lenny back. I guess we'll find out
You're
probably in an hour
probably
or
most
two.
likely going to get money back. Most likely.
Yeah, we'll find out in about 2 hours who's playing. I'm pretty sure Tristan Wirfs is rehabbing. It's funny because I think I might have absorbed his ankle pain. Because this morning, like out of nowhere, my ankle started hurting. So I might
Doc
have
was like
absorbed it.
on Tuesday, he was like, Tristan Wirth, give me your ankle energy.
Yeah,
Transfer it with mine, please.
yeah. I feel like I might have absorbed it because like my ankle, like for some reason, started hurting this morning. So maybe like I'm gonna put myself in a boot, and then he'll be able
Yikes.
to get off the boot. So we'll see. But I think there's been a lot of attention on Wirfs, on that offensive line, and on Lenny. When in reality, some of these other guys are just as talented, and they just have to come in and play. And
Hmm.
then the play of our
Which, just to
safeties.
let you know, too, Leonard Fournette is back to practice today.
Yeah, I think they were all doing walkthroughs Tuesday and Wednesday, and then yesterday, I believe it was full practice. I didn't watch the press conferences yesterday,
Yeah,
but
he's in full pads.
my man Lenny, I know Rojo can't cut, so I don't think Rojo's playing, but that's
No,
okay.
no, you still
But
got Lenny.
finally, the game of the week, Johnny. The
The
game of
game
the
of the
weekend.
weekend for so many people, they're calling this the heavyweight fight. The main event. We have the Buffalo Bills traveling to Arrowhead to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Doc, who you got?
This is going to be such a tough one. Um, the Bills really, similar to the Titans, they really need to win this.
They do.
Uh,
This
but I will
is
say this.
conquering demons.
But I'll say this, and we've watched the Bills implode the last 2 to 3 years, where they've ran out of steam. There's been some questionable play calls. There have been, obviously Josh Allen would just make bad decisions.
Hmm.
But I feel like the Bills have a chance to redeem all of that this weekend.
Are you
Um,
calling the
I'm going.
Bills the redeem team?
I'm going to pick the Bills um, in this game. I'm very reluctant to do so, but I'm going to pick the Bills to win only because I feel like, again, similar to Matthew Stafford not being challenged, I don't think the Chiefs were challenged last week either. So it's kind of a walk in the park, and I would like to see what happens this particular game when them Bill boys are going to be coming after
Fortunately, Doc, the Chiefs, even though they laid Big Ben to rest career wise
him.
and absolutely mollywopped the Steelers last week, they have been on a run outside of their loss to those kitty goes meow Bengals. They are trying to get to three straight Super Bowls. They don't want to be denied anything whatsoever. And many are saying that this game will decide who will represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. And with that all said, Doc, I'm going with the Bills as well too.
I get it, man. I get it. It's like I said, if the
This
Chiefs
is
win
going to
it,
be a close game. I think all of them are going to be close games.
yeah, if the Chiefs win it, I get it. But I think the Bills they have to win this. The Titans have to win this, Like I, I mean a lot of people are saying that the Packers have to win this in order to keep things together. I mean, obviously, everything going on with Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, you know,
We heard
people
nothing
saying
about that after what?
week 3, week 4, I think
Yup.
it was. But yeah, Yeah, they have, but I believe they have to win it. It's just one of those things that I believe. I don't like the Rams. I feel like they also have to win it, but the pressure of winning for the Rams, McVay, Stafford, OBJ, some of these guys
I
that.
think the Rams definitely have to win it because they went all in this season with getting Von Miller, with getting OBJ, with getting the hype,
Mhm.
bro, for championship aspirations. The fact that they even won their division via a loss doesn't look good on them. They need to win. And if they was able to knock off the reigning, defending, undisputed NFL world champions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I mean, that'll finally put some respect on their names because
Put some
we know
respect
how
on their
good the
name.
Rams are. We know how good they are.
No, they're a dominant
But
team. Cooper
they
Cup
don't
is the
they
best.
don't play up to that expectation. And that's
True.
what's gonna hurt them.
True. And we're gonna have to test. I think this is another situation where we're in that same boat last season with the Bucks, and all eyes are really on the secondary, right?
Yep.
Can this secondary stop OBJ and Cooper Cup and any other receiver that comes out of there, the
You
tight
know
end that
what?
they
I
had,
know exactly what they need to do before the game.
slap each other,
I
slap
think I
hands,
think they need
slap
Bruce Arians
hands.
to pop upside the head.
God, I can't believe you went there. Um,
I mean, I'm
God,
talking Gibbs slap for those who watch NCIS. Like, hey, this isn't the time and place for that kind of malarkey. Get out there and let's get this win. I
yikes.
think that'd be great. To mock the league for that stupid fine.
I think it would be hilarious if you know outside of the tunnel, everybody's walking by and he's just like, uh, uh, uh.
I'm just see now you get it.
Yeah, yeah, that would be good. That would be good. But lastly, Johnny, last two things I wanted to touch on. Actually, last one thing. God dang Texans conducting an interview with freaking Josh McCown. What the bleep? And we talked
This
about
isn't the
this.
first time they interviewed him for a head coaching position too.
And that's the sad part. We talked about this earlier this year or earlier in the season. I can't say this year because this year is pretty early. Early in the season six, about former players getting the quick head coaching nod. The Jason Kidds of the world.
Yep,
Um, you know, I mean, although he's been a veteran backup, and they usually say that backup quarterbacks are the closest things to assistant coaches, but has Josh McCown proven anything that he would be a good head coach for the Texans at this point of their franchise? They are in dire need of a culture builder.
they do.
Somebody's somebody's going to come in and instill a new culture. I'm not trying to question Josh McCown, but my God, you got to be kidding me! Bring in Marvin Lewis and stop playing games.
Yikes. Real quick update.
Sure.
Tristan Wirth is full padded out there with the first lineman this morning
Hmm.
during practice, as well as Ryan Jensen as well too. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, I took the pain. I did it. I did it for the Bucks.
He did it for the
I did
Bucks.
I did it for the Bucks. But Johnny, I know the people heard this podcast on their favorite podcast platform, but if they didn't, they can always go to our website at www.debateamongstfriends.com to review this episode as well as all the previous. Be sure to tune in next week as we review these games as well as give you the news, the analysis, and the reads.
Rest in peace, Louis Anderson.